Hey guys. So I was sitting here thinking about how you kind of like see a whole nother side and kind of like a deeper side of all of the connections of Second Squad, Fourth Wing in Onyx Storm, and how it kind of gives us like this whole new perspective, I guess, of how everyone has really kind of came together in this book and how everyone really has gotten this newfound bond that's even deeper than maybe some of the people around them. And again, we don't really have like too much information on how everyone else who was in Eurasia has kind of like come together, but you can kind of like see once everyone is back at Baskayev, the kind of like division between the Eurasian crowd and the Navarre crowd. And when you kind of like look at how the flyers and the writers have come together, you can see that there has been kind of like this deeper understanding, especially within Fourth Wing, that they are unified now and how they have become like an actual squad. And I think that that is one of the things that is the most enjoyable about reading Onyx Storm, because you spend not a lot of time with just like one like group of friends. You kind of like have shifted around a lot of the time as we go through different, I'm gonna say like battles, but like throughout different sections of the book and sometimes different battles, we are with different pieces of Second Squad, and it gives us a time to see how the group has come together, and we're able to kind of like get a new insight on how everyone has kind of integrated together and how they have integrated in such a way that they have become a family again since they have brought the flyers in, and how they are truly in this place where they're like, we are all one, you know what I mean? And like everyone is like, we are here, we are together, we're for you, you are for us. Like we are all here together on our squad. And I think that that is so wonderful. And I think that that is one of the most kind of like beneficial things to see in the book, is because it gives one of the greatest depth to the book is the importance that the friendship and the bonds are. And you know, it was one of the things that was kind of like warned about in the very beginning of Fourth Wing, is that Mira was like, don't make friends, you know, make alliances. And it was one of the things that Violet immediately chose not to do. You know, she immediately chose to be Rhiannon's friend and to save Rhiannon and to help her have an edge. And, you know, it was, again, still the thing that Violet chose to do the opposite of the entire time she was there, is to make friendships and to help solidify those bonds. And doing so was kind of like the thing that saved her inevitably when she was in the quadrant. And I think that that is kind of like the thing that helped kind of like make their squad so strong, is that they became friends. They became more to each other than what everyone else maybe was instinctually trying to do with one another. Like everyone else was maybe instinctually trying to tear each other apart. And Violet instinctually wanted to be friends with everyone. She instinctually wants to save everyone. She instinctually wants to help people. You know, her first instinct wasn't to hurt and tear people down. Whereas like when we saw it on the parapet, people instinctually were trying to take out the enemy and, you know, take out their competition. Whereas she was like, I want to give people advice and I want to see people thrive. And you can see that even in Iron Flame. It wasn't what she was supposed to be doing when she was on the parapet, but she wanted to try and help those first years do the best that they could. And so, you know, you can see that kind of like trickling along as she goes through this book, where, you know, those instincts that she had all along is kind of like what I think is what made their squad be fundamentally one of the best squads that they continuously have throughout the book, because they continue to be one of the squads that thrive in each book. You know, they thrived in the first, they thrive in the second, and I think they still are thriving in the third as well. You know, there's not too many comparisons in Onyx Storms to the other ones, because it's kind of like everything is a bit dismantled, as they're really just in war trying not to die. So no one's really like comparing one another and comparing how everyone else is doing in the same way as they did with like war games and squad games and doing those types of things. So, you know, we don't really have like the class comparison, but you can still see when you have like small moments of seeing everyone else's friendships, and when you see all of fourth wing, you know, second squad's friendships, that their ability to be friends and family is kind of just like what makes them so strong together. Then at times maybe it is one of their greatest weaknesses, but I mean, it could also be one of their greatest strengths. What do you think?